guys, we're going to go ahead and break this down. I'm not going to try to dive into every single aspect, since a lot of the surface level stuff that they talk directly to us about was already explained, but I am going to touch on some obvious things. But I know for a fact there were some gems that I found in here that probably went over a lot of people's heads, and some of them can have major gameplay implications. So we're going to definitely go ahead and dive into that and take a look. What is it that they were hiding from us, or that they didn't mention to us? All right, so it looks just beautiful. The moment I saw this, I was floored, and I want to go ahead and pause it really quickly right here, just to let you guys know, just to talk quickly about the fact that the crowd is blurred. I think that that's fantastic. Lyndon Arthur has rival gloves, so no more generic gloves. Now they're wearing gloves with the branding on them. Venom ropes, the ropes have the Venom logo on it. Lawrence Oakley is also wearing Venom gloves, so this is just fantastic. I love how the guard is different for Lyndon Arthur. He has his poking out a little bit more. For Lawrence Oakley, he doesn't. He has his pants pulled up more, covering his guard, as opposed to how Lyndon Arthur has it. This looks beautiful. The UI for the damage on the icon, the damage icon, has changed. It looks a lot more simplistic. I love the design change on that. But let's go ahead and move forward. When these fighters pull away, you will see that blur effect, that bokeh effect in the background with the crowd subsides, and you can see the crowd in its full glory. And you'll see that some of the crowd members are standing, and some of them are sitting down. So it looks pretty realistic. I enjoy the look of everything. The atmosphere gives you a pay-per-view feel. I'm going to try to go through all of this quickly. The movement is very fluid. We now have the referee actually engaging with the fight, or showing himself moving around, things of that nature. We have the Clito Reyes sign right here, so we also have that confirmed. Clito Reyes, we have rivals, we have Venom, so all of these things are being confirmed while we're watching this trailer. So he's moving around. Of course, that says Steel City over there at that corner. Love the movement. If you look at the analog stick, it's looking like there's certain ways you can move depending on where your body is located. Will depend on what kind of movement that your fighter does. So right now he's moving sideways, as you can see if looking at Lawrence Oakley, how they're moving the stick. He does like the sideways pedal, but they're also doing like quarter circle turns, which are creating a little bit of a different movement. It could be dependent on how you're moving that analog stick. Where you're positioning your body is how they're going to move. If your back is towards the location, they'll back pedal. If you're side, they'll side pedal. We want to pause it here because there's something incredibly important here. Incredibly important and actually game changing. When people first looked at this, even me, it just looked like almost a carbon copy of Fight Night, which isn't a bad thing in terms of our muscle memory. It doesn't mean that the game is like Fight Night. It just means that the control layout is like Fight Night, and that'll allow us to be very familiar with it when we pick it up and play. But there are two major differences here. For one, the clinch, which is clicking in L and R. So you see these little arrows here indicate clicking in. So this is clicking L and R in, and then that will initiate a clinch, which we did not see here, but we will see in the future. But one important thing that nobody really paid attention to, I didn't see anybody talk about, was this right here. The weave and the body modifier for punches being two completely different buttons. That was not the case in Fight Night. The weave and the body modifier were the same button. What did that do? What was that limitation? Well, you couldn't move on your feet while punching to the body at the same exact time. You could step in and hit to the body, you could step to the side and then hit to the body, but you couldn't be walking and moving and punching towards the body, because you had to be hitting that weave modifier. And if you hit that weave modifier, your movement for your legs is not activated. You are now moving your upper body. But here they've separated it. You can punch the body, which is why we see their straight up stance sometimes when they're when they're hooking the body, because they don't have to weave at all. And you can weave and throw to the head instead of the body. So you could be weaving and still attack the head, even if you're ducking. Maybe it does like an overhand punch. Who knows how that's gonna work? We gotta wait and see. But the good thing is you can simultaneously move and hit the body while playing Esports Boxing Club. That is fantastic. Everything else, however, is literally a carbon copy of Fight Night, but that's a good thing because we can just pick it up and play, and it'll be very, very familiar to us. Power punch modifier right up here, block button right up here. All of the buttons are the same: jabs, straights, the hooks. You press both of these in, it's the uppercut. Both of these in, it's the right uppercut. Amazing. And of course they have the right stick punch control, which is the total punch control from Fight Night Champion. But this is fantastic. I love the fact that these two buttons are separated, but you are going to have to maybe sometimes use your middle finger for the weave and your index finger for the body modifier for punches. Unless you alternate between the two. But if you want to be super expert at this and be able to do everything possible to gain an advantage, you are going to have to learn how to weave with your middle finger and be comfortable with that, and hold the LB button with your index finger. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next clip. This is just absolutely beautiful movement and velocity. Let's see how this works. I think this is where he talks about how the speed of the movement is. Yeah, this is the speed part. So like you see how he's moving. What I like about this is that you can move it gradually. It's not just two things. It's not black and white. Either you're moving slow or you're moving fast. You can move very, very, very slow and tiny, just like this. And then you can move a little bit faster, and then you can move super fast. So there's a gradual increase, which I think is phenomenal. Here is the modifier for the loose movement and showboating. And I think this is a nice little touch, but they've already explained everything that they need to explain for this. There's not much that I can add to it. Basically, the way you move it changes completely. Your movement style changes completely. When you hit that modifier, you're more loose, you're more on your toes. Now, I'm wondering, does this affect your punches in any way? Does it speed it up? Does it do anything to your punches to get you to, something different that it does? I don't know if it does. It might not, but it is a possibility. But it does look beautiful to watch. It definitely looks beautiful. One other thing that I noticed a lot of people complaining about is, why is this time so high? 3 minutes is normally the normal time, but guys, they're trying to record some stuff. They're going to put some more minutes in there so they don't have to keep on doing rounds and doing new fights just to get the thing that they wanted to get for this recording. So it's beautiful. We're going to move on. You guys already know about that movement style. There's not anything new that came out of it, unless the quarter circle turns does a different kind of pivoting and movement, but that is still to be seen. We don't know that for sure. So here we got the slip and roll. So this is one of the things that confused a lot of people. Guys, this is how it works. There are 3 ways of evasion in terms of getting away from punches. Obviously, there's the just walking away, but not if you include just walking away or just moving away completely. That's 4 ways of evasion. But in terms of actually getting away from the punch actively, defensively, there's 3 ways. What you're seeing here is the step in kind of it's the roll, the step back and roll. So you can roll to the left, to the right, or you can step back. That is what he's doing here. So if you see, he rolls to his right, he's moving back. Here, he's just stepping back. Here, he tried to do a step back. He stepped back to behind him. He stepped back again. Here, he rolled to his left. So this is, and then quickly step back. So this is what we're seeing, is rolling and stepping back. So this is a way of evasion. How to activate this is by flicking the analog stick in those directions. That's how you activate this one. You flick in those directions. Now, the other way of movement that they showed is Slipping. See, there, aimbot stated that if you do the step back too early, you'll get hit. But that was actually a slip. He slipped there. Now, the way slipping works, because this is what confused a lot of people, the way slipping works is you click in the L button. And once you click it in, then you can slip in the 4 directions, either forward, side to side, and back. So even if you pay attention to the analog stick, you'll see right there he does a click in. You'll see he quickly clicks in. Pay attention to when he goes back right here. You can see he clicks in. No, actually, I just missed it. It wasn't there. Rolls, goes back. You'll see right here, he clicks it in, boom, and then rolls backwards. And then slips backwards. So it's a click in. See the click in right there? Clicks in, then goes backwards, but he got basically smacked with a straight right for his troubles. But yeah, that's the slipping mechanic. So guys, to roll, to step back, that's a flick. To slip, that is a click in of the L button, of the L stick, and then moving it into a different direction. Of course, we have the third way of evasion, which is weave, and that is holding the weave modifier, and that allows you to move around. So then we got them moving around here. They show, that you can put your hands behind your back using the modifier for the toggle for the movement, which I think was amazing. So here he is now showing you the weave. So he's showing you how the weave works. You can't move your feet when you're weaving. And he's getting caught here. Now, one of the things that I noticed here is that the manual blocking system, that's another thing that a lot of people are complaining about. I'm hearing a lot of people say, hey, you better not come fight me with the semi-automatic. No, you better come fight me with the manual blocking. Or I'm hearing a lot of people say, please tell the devs to make it manual blocking a must online because people are going to pick it and it's going to be cheap. Guys, if you do not pick manual blocking, you will be at a massive disadvantage. I'm going to explain why, but you will be at a massive disadvantage. Just so that you know, it was clearly stated by aimbot that semi-automatic is not just pump blocking like Fight Night. You have to choose whether you're going to block your head or your body. So there's still choices that have to be made. You can still, if somebody is just blocking their head and just blocking their body, you can still decide to attack the body, attack the head, confuse them, make them pick where you're going to strike. So there's still that's still a thing. But with manual blocking, you have so much control of 2 things. One, you can have diagonal blocking simultaneously. So if notice here, he's blocking his body on his left side, but he's also blocking his head on his right side. Remember, this isn't just whatever you do registers. This is physics based. So if you hit his body, it will not register. See here? Let me kind of pull it back a little bit. Slipping. Let's get to the point where he gets to, so he hits him. He clips his elbow right there. And because he clips his elbow, it doesn't register as a punch. It doesn't register as a punch. Clips his elbow again. Let me see if I could just do it in a little bit of a faster motion so you guys can see it. Watch it right here. Clips his elbow, doesn't register as a punch. So he's blocking the other side, but his arm is also blocking down there. Manual is going to give you that ability to block 2 parts of your body, the head and the body, while sorry guys, it's going to be diagonal. That's what it's going to happen. It's going to be diagonal, and then you have a freedom of choice of how you maneuver this. But there's also another thing that manual blocking is going to let you do, and I'll get to it when we get to the Lyndon Arthur manual blocking. So you see Oakley working him from the ropes, blocking, using that manual block system, the beautiful body punching that's happening. This is just fantastic. I like what I'm seeing here. Definitely like what I'm seeing. Nice uppercut. Nice hook. I like how they land in different spots. I like how you can just miss. But notice right there, see, right there, he's blocking different parts. He's blocking different parts of his body simultaneously because he has the manual blocking system. Right here, he's blocking here, and he's also blocking here. It is not going to be advantageous to just be using the head and body block semi-automatic, because you're just going to be a one-trick pony, and somebody who masters manual is going to be schooling you basically on how to defend your body. Let's move it forward. It's a nice hit to the body, and he's going to knock him down because he's just expending his energy. Boom, he goes down. They talk about the movement slips, and if you see it here, right there, clicks it in and then starts moving. See that? Clicks it in, then starts moving. So that's how slips work. You have to click it in, then you start moving, and then you could just get off of the, once you unclick it, that, you know, that's it, it goes away. Now, there's going to be a point in this trailer where Lyndon Arthur is punching around the guard of Oakley. What's the manual blocking going to let you do? It's going to let you change the range of where you're blocking. So if you're blocking on your right hand side and it's a little bit forward, you could change it to be a little bit further back to block those over or those looping punches that are trying to get around your guard. Just look at how Lyndon Arthur is changing the range on his punch. Look at that. The range on his punch is changing where it's located. See that? It's forward. It goes a little bit further back. It goes a little bit further to the front. It's allowing you to be more dynamic with where you place your glove. See that? It's more further to the back. That's why manual blocking is going to be much better. And if you even, and just to think, with all of that, you can still block in the same way that the semi-automatic blocker is blocking. If you don't have to go left and right, you can just go straight up, straight down, and you would essentially have what they have. So you basically have what they have, and then you have so much more tools in your tool belt. So it's a disadvantage for anybody to be semi-automatic. This is the thing that I wanted to talk about. This is bizarre. Notice what is happening here. Is there a pressure sensitive button press that you can do when you're pressing in slightly this button? And does that pressure sensitive pressing of this while you're punching allow you to change the way you are throwing your punches? Why do I say that? Because when Lyndon Arthur is slightly holding this button, and this is intentional because it's being slightly held and not fully pressed in like this. When he's slightly holding this button, he is looping his punches around the guard. And just so you see, you'll see the difference between, pay attention. You could look at the top quickly. You'll see that he's holding it and he's looping punches. So, and then once he stops pressing it, his punches are shorter. Look at his punches. They're shorter. See? They're not looping around. So it looks like they didn't want to tell us everything. I could be wrong, but it's too coincidental. Slightly holding this, Lyndon Arthur starts throwing looping punches. Hold on, let me just get that out the way. Starts throwing looping punches. Look at all the looping punches he's throwing while this is being slightly held. Look at that. Loop. Watch. Throws that hook, loops around the guard, loop, loop, and then it's short. Everything is short. It's not looping. It looks like you can change the way your punches are thrown to combat the guard a little bit more. So it's just going to put people that are semi-automatic at a disadvantage, in my opinion, if this is not controlled or balanced or whatever it is. It's just, that's what's going to happen. Of course, punching out of the guard, which is absolutely beautiful. I love it. One thing that I am going to let you know, it looks like, in terms of the BPM, that the resting active BPM is from 68 beats per minute to 73 beats per minute. You can go back and watch all of the times when they're not really doing much. It's ranging from there. The only thing that actually created, that didn't create any type of interaction with this, like increasing it, was the weaving. The stepping away, increased the BPM, and the slipping increased the BPM. However, weaving did not increase the BPM. So it's possible that weaving may not create any stamina or stamina degradation, but we'll just have to wait and see. This could still all be a work in progress where they actually fix that later on or change it or whatever, or leave it the same. Who knows? These punches looked amazing, but what we're going to move towards out of here, I also noticed that they're not doing the BPMs like they did before. It's not like before. I don't see that if this goes up to 158, the adrenaline kicks off. The only thing that I'm seeing is that the adrenaline kicks off when the opponent is rocked. And I also see Raquel does a very light jab. It almost looks like a rangefinder. I don't know if it's a rangefinder or it is because his life is so low, but watch this punch that he throws. It's really light right there. See that? I don't know if he has like it's a rangefinder thing or just that it was low. That was absolutely beautiful. We already seen that though. It was the counter. Really, really good individual punches. Let's try to get this moving. So of course the punches are going to be individual. Nothing new here to show, but I do want to get to this was with the slipping, of course. And you can be in trouble. Notice that BPM is only up. Now both BPMs are up because they're rocked, or the adrenaline is kicking in because they're rocked. That's the only time I'm seeing the adrenaline here. So I don't know if they changed that dynamic. It was different before, but they may have changed it. Here, I don't want to micromanage this, so you guys could read this if you want, pause it, but it's basically all the different stats. The new ones that they show are courage and confidence and discipline. These are new stats that are really unique, so we're going to have to take a look at that when they explain it more, but it is definitely intriguing. But I want to move over onto when he's walking around in the gym. So here we have him walking around in the gym, and I'm going to pause it in some places because it's kind of amazing, some of the stuff. Okay, here, whoa, I went, oh my goodness, he is just moving. Hold on, Arturo Gotti. All right, so tires here. So are we going to be doing tire flipping? Is that going to be a thing? And we see these tracks here that are yellow, so it looks like some type of thing that you can interact with. Are you going to be flipping tires on this track here for doing weights and stuff like that? That is very, very possible. We also have wrecking punching bags or wrecking ball punching bags here, or uppercut bags, which I like how I like to call them because those are my favorite bags to throw uppercuts on. Are you going to be able to do that? We know for a fact he can do bag work when he passed by the bag. Can you also do jump ropes? That's a thing. There's also, if we move here, right here, there are weights, or there's weights right over here. Are you going to be able to lift weights? One thing I know when it comes to these kind of hub things where you can walk around, usually, developers don't put stuff there that are enticing unless you actually can use them. And this is a possibility. You can probably use these weights. So that is basically the breakdown. I did notice when they were blocking and punching that they were doing catch and shoots, and the reason that I know it was a catch and shoot counter is because there's a white flash when the person's punched, and there were some punches that Lyndon Arthur landed on Lawrence Oakley, and like on his glove, it was a quick tap, and then Oakley hits him with like a powerful shot that registers as a counter. So yeah, amazing. Absolutely fantastic trailer. Once again, hopefully these are some things that you did miss and it was enlightening, but I'm very fascinated by what they were doing up here with that semi press, with that light press, and how his punches were different when that light press was happening. He was looping his punches around the guard. And then when he released that, he was throwing them more tighter and shorter. So is that going to be a dynamic thing that we can do to be, smart and negate someone's just like abusive use of block? And is the person who's semi-automatic going to be at a major disadvantage from all of the stuff that I've shown you in terms of how manual blocking is going to allow you to control range of how far back you put that glove, how far forward you put that glove, and diagonal blocking in terms of blocking your left body while also blocking your right head or the right side of your head. Those are major advantages that if you do semi-automatic, you're leaving on the table, because manual blockers are still going to be able to do the exact same thing semi-automatic is going to do by simply pressing straight up. They'll block full guard, straight down they'll block full to the body, but they'll go left and right as well. That's the difference. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the full breakdown analysis. Didn't want to go through the entire trailer, just wanted to touch on those specific ones, those things that I feel that you guys may have missed, not the things that they've explained. Of course, as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. I'm so hyped up with these trailers. I love these trailers. This is Boxing Fanatico, and I'm out.